We're gonna make tacos. The first thing you're gonna do is use your skills that you have now for chopping an onion, and you're gonna dice your half an onion. And then we're gonna mince 1 clove of garlic. To do that, mincing means to cut it as small as possible. So to do that, you wanna form your claw and cut slices into your garlic. And then we're gonna use a cross chop. A cross chop is when you put the palm of your hand on the back of the knife and you work up and down, back and forth, keeping your fingers pointed up and away from the blade and keeping the tip of the blade touching the cutting board the whole time. And you can bring the garlic back into the center and work back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right, so this is my garlic and I've minced it as small as I'd like it to be. I'm gonna transfer it into this bowl and move on to the next. All right, I've measured my seasoning. So in here I have a half a teaspoon of chili powder, a half a teaspoon of dried oregano, a half a teaspoon of cumin, and a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. So I've made my own taco seasoning. For my family, I bought a hard and soft taco kit, dinner kit. And within this, there is taco seasoning. So you can also use this taco seasoning, but I wanted to show you how to make your own as well. All right, for cutting the tomato, I cut it in half and then cut it in half again, so I had quarters. Then I sliced it like this, and then I cut each slice. There's a little bit of green on this end, so I just cut that out, and I don't use that. I cut this piece in half, and then I dice it by cutting it in the other direction. We're ready to start the tacos. So now we're gonna put our skillet on the element and turn our element to medium heat, which is about a 5. We're going to use half a pound of ground beef. I buy my ground beef in a tube like this, which is 1 pound, and I'm gonna use half of it. I bought extra lean ground beef. You might have bought lean or just regular ground beef, that's fine too. So I'm gonna squeeze this half a pound out. If you're cooking for your whole family, you might be using the whole pound, and that's fine too. I'm gonna add my 1 clove of garlic and my half an onion. And I'm gonna use my wooden spoon to break this up. I'll continue to break it up until it turns brown and it's cooked most of the way through. This is my ground beef, and I can tell that it's pretty close to done because it was a little bit pink before and it's not. It's going to continue to cook for a little bit longer. If you have bigger chunks of meat, you want to break them apart with your wooden spoon, and then you can see, or wooden spoon, and you can see if it's pink on the inside. That's one way of telling if it still needs to cook longer. When it's mostly broken up into small pieces, then you know that it's probably cooked all the way through if it's brown on the outside. My onions have changed color. They go kind of like a browny gray color. They're less white when they're cooked, so that helps to tell when they're done. The recipe calls for you to drain the grease or the fat, and I've used extra lean meat, so that means there's less fat. So I'm not going to drain mine. If you used ground beef that has higher fat content and you have a pool of grease here, you can pour that grease off into a container, something that won't melt from the heat, and then let it harden. You can put it in the freezer to get it to harden and then throw that away. You don't want to put it down your sink or anything like that. So we're ready to move on to the next step. We're going to add in our pasta sauce, which will add flavor on its own. And then we're going to add in all of our taco seasonings. And we're going to mix those in. The taco meat is done, so I've turned it off. I'm going to heat some soft tacos because that's what my family likes. I'm going to do it at 200 degrees. And I'm also going to fill some hard shells as well. And then I'll put on my top. All right, I want to show you what I've prepared for my topping. So I have shredded lettuce, diced tomatoes, sour cream, grated cheddar cheese, and this is a salsa I like. You could also have, if you wanted to add heat, you could have like a hot sauce or a minced jalapeno, and even the jalapeno, if you like that, you could try putting it in with the meat and cooking with the meat. I'm gonna assemble a few of my tacos and I'll show you the final product. My hard shell, I'm gonna spoon the taco meat into the bottom of the shell. And I'm gonna fill it with my toppings. So I can put some lettuce in, some tomatoes, some cheese. I'll put a spoonful of sour cream and a spoonful of salsa, maybe 2. For the soft tacos, you assemble it the same way. I hope you enjoy them.